I've informed you that, you know, the ECU is missing and the throttle body is missing.
On top of the build not being complete, basically Cal, he's stolen the K-Pro ECU, throttle bodies, actually stealing my ECU. I think that's a whole nother situation. So Cal, if you're watching, I'm telling you that I want my ECU back and I want my throttle bodies back. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Living Life Fast, and today you join me for a good old-fashioned vlog. You join me at Ignite Automotive, where we're going to be doing a little update on the whole Civic situation. Believe it or not, the situation has just got that little bit worse, which you'd think it couldn't, which I'll explain shortly. I just want to say thank you as well to everybody who has messaged me on social media. I've had so many, I'm talking at least 50 offers to finish off the Civic build. You probably see the frustration in the last video, really annoying. But from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for everybody that has messaged me, and sorry if I've not got back to you. It can be very difficult sometimes. I literally work by myself and living life fast, and as I say, it can be difficult. As mentioned, we're at Ignite Automotive. We'll do a little walk around and then we'll move on to what the plans are for the Civic. So guys, enjoy the video. Before we get into it, please subscribe to my channel and make sure bell notifications are set to all so you're notified the second I release a video. What are we saying, Joe?
Hi Ricky, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. You want to mention who you are, what you do, a bit of your background, maybe do a little walk around?
I'm Joel, I'm the owner of Ignite Automotive. Obviously we've been speaking to Ricky about doing some of the projects and stuff. So yeah, obviously we specialise in Japanese and German high performance cars, engine conversions, engine builds, gearboxes. Done quite a few K-swap conversions, or Ks and Fs.
How many cars, like you say, you just do? Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? And it's a nice variety, isn't it? So I suppose this is a shop car, your R35 GTR?
Yeah, this is one of the shop cars, built engine and built box at the moment.
You clearly do a lot of BMs, don't you?
Yeah, so M2 we got there, that is in for cylinder head repair. M4, that is in for replacement turbos, very common issue on the S55s. M2 next to it, that's having the crank hub. Large bulk of our work is the M Performance cars. Also we do, do a few GTRs and stuff for customers as well, and custom one-off projects.
Got a couple of cars in there, I can see the Yaris.
The Yaris GR we've got over there, that's actually the engine we've got out of it. This one is having a rated head gasket, head studs. It's also having Kelford cams and Kelford valve springs.
One of your employees over as well, yeah? Got a couple of staff members on that?
Yeah, so we've got Fraser over there, he's our apprentice.
Nice to meet you, brother. Cool. Lovely location, isn't it, as well? Look at this, fresh. Look at the floor, guys, brand new.
All these new units were put up, very recently, and then we put the office in ourselves, put the ramps in ourselves, done all the flooring, done all the benches.
You've got engine room over here as well, right?
Yeah, so this one is what you'd probably consider more of a quicker turnaround workshop.
Guys, this one's rocking a K20 and it's fucking clean, boy. Have a look at that. So what's that, the Nankangs, was it?
Yes, Nankang AR1s. So yeah, it's had full K20A2 engine, Hondata K-Pro ECU, M-Factory plated diff, RDX injectors. Decided to keep it naturally aspirated purely for the reason it is a track car. It does get driven and get used hard, and that will quite comfortably take being abused all day long and just stay nice and cool.
Got my Civic here, which we'll speak on in a second, Joel. Also my Evo's here as well. So we just, what was we doing? Wheels, tyres.
Replacement track rod ends and inner tie rods as well.
Yes.
This actually had a fully painted engine bay as well. So we've got a couple of bits to finish off in there as well. But any of the builds we do try and make a point of, they look nice, they look presentable. We want to be putting builds out there with, wiring thrown over everywhere.
Look at the engine room, brand spanking new. Joel is not playing around. I'm gassed, honestly. 1 hour away from me. So what's going on, man? We've got a K20 over there?
Yes, we've got, there's one built GTR engine in the corner, that's had forged pistons and rods, K20 in there, that's just having a bit of a freshen up and going turbo. Another VR here, that's having forged pistons, forged rods. Every single pump has all been totally stripped down to, even all the little fasteners in the front of the alternator. This is the Switzer R1 kits, so they're 3082 Garrett turbos.
Wow, someone's not playing about, are they?
So these are GR6 transmission from the R35 GTR. So this particular one's having 20 plate clutch, uprated gear set, uprated drop gears, basically everything, you know, you sort of need to strengthen up the box to be able to take the additional power out of the car.
Okay, Joel, well, let's move on to my Civic. So you've had it up on the ramp, you've had a little look over it and stuff like that. What's your thoughts on it initially?
So the actual condition of the shell is, you know, sort of fairly reasonable. There's so many of these cars now that are just rotten on the seals, rotten on the arches. Whatever you decide to do with the car, we have sort of got a reasonably solid shell in terms of corrosion.
Quick reminder for anybody that's new to the channel. So this is a Civic that I had turbocharged. I spent a good £15,000–20,000 on this car. I sent it to a company called Punk Performance, which had the car for about a year. There's been no progress done with the car. I lost complete communication with the owner of the company. And you'll probably see I've shot 2–3 videos of me actually collecting the car, confronting the owner. Basically, I would say I've lost a bit of dough, I think around 10K. Obviously, the car went in as a working, functional vehicle. It's now sitting here with a big hole through the centre, so he's cut the tunnel out. Obviously, the plan was to go with a DSG gearbox, Holdex all-wheel drive system. And you can see it's just been dumped on the side of a road. I said in the intro that the situation probably couldn't get any worse. So what we found out is, Joel, you're saying that my ECU is missing, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, we have gone through the car, sort of see, you know, what was there, what isn't, just so, you know, we can make for a plan from our side of, you know, what we're going to do with the car. I've informed you that, you know, the ECU is missing and the throttle body is missing. You know, you did have a Honda K-Pro V4 ECU.
On top of the build not being complete, basically Cal, he's stolen the K-Pro ECU, throttle bodies, and what do you reckon that's about 1,500 quid worth of parts? Yeah. Look, the whole build, you know, him being long, look, you can see we've got some of the parts like the roll cage, we've got the fuel tank. We had the billet plate down here, which apparently cost me around 4 grand. Don't know if that's 4 grand's worth of parts. I bought a TT as well. So I collected the car back because he was being long. You could say, well, he would have finished it if I left it. But actually stealing my ECU, I think that's a whole nother situation. So Cal, if you're watching, I definitely want my ECU back. For the record, I've not been looking for you or trying to find where you're at, but I do get messages on not a daily basis, but you know, loads of people are messaging me your location. But I'm telling you that I want my ECU back and I want my throttle bodies back. If any solicitors and lawyers are watching as well, maybe some advice on what I can do about this situation as well. Because in my opinion, I don't know, it's like, is it not like a civil situation, Joel, you reckon?
I mean, the honest answer is I don't know, so I've never been in that position. I mean, obviously...
But there's no contract. We haven't signed paperwork. Somebody comes to get work done. You don't manage to get it done for, say, 6 months. The customer comes in, takes his car back and tries to sue you. It's like, it's not really... Like, yeah, it's a sticky one. It's a sticky one. But anyway, anyone that's watching, let me know what you think that I can do about this, because the fact he's stolen my ECU and the throttle body, that's just an absolute piss take. So... yeah, Cal, if you're watching, I want my ECU back and I will be coming for it. And like I say, any solicitors or lawyers watching, any advice, I'd really appreciate it. Maybe we should make a statement, make a point to see what the outcome is, because all of the people that have been robbed, the people that have lost money and have had their parts stolen, they've all told me that there's nothing they can do. They've contacted solicitors, they've gone to court. This is a civil matter. Nothing has come back on him, basically, which is why I've not even entertained the whole solicitor court route. So, yeah, we're just waffling right now. Yeah, God, you can see Sidewinder manifold. We had the eBay turbocharger. You can see all the spider web. We had the bonnet exit screamer. What are we thinking, Joel, is the question. What are we thinking? I mean, we've had some serious conversations, haven't we, for about a week now. We've sat there and gone, do we go 2,000 horsepower? You know, do we continue the DSG sort? We were talking about the DQ 500, was we talking? Like a new shape RS3 gearbox maybe? Continuing the forward drive, go front wheel drive. For the record, we're gonna finish the car here. We're gonna make sure that this is a running car before it leaves. As I say, guys, me and Joel, we're in conversations of whether we send this car to the moon, do we send it halfway, or do we just get the car back running and maybe start something else? But going by what you're saying, Joel, the car is something we can work with, you reckon?
It's not at the point where it can't be saved, but it is a lot of work to, you know, get it to the point where it is, you know, roadworthy and safe for purpose. You know, taking a car like this and, you know, double, triple, quadruple the amount of horsepower and, you know, the speeds you're going to be doing, it needs to be up to the standard of, you know, being safe.
Kind of got some prices, guys, and, you know, it's a lot of money, depending on what level we want to go, basically. We could go the CRV route, CRV gearbox, CRV forward drive system, but then you've got the wagon route, haven't you, as well, with the prop shaft, the diff. You was also saying as well, Joel, that the cage is, what, something that we're probably going to have to take out, or?
Yes, it's certainly not something that, you know, we would feel comfortable with you going out and using the car from, you know, for what we want to use it for.
Is it just the way that it's been mounted or welded in, or?
I mean, if we take, for instance, down here, this is one of our mounts for the cage.
Right.
We can see daylight through it.
Okay, right.
So, you know, we have literally, you know, sort of got holes through it. So the weld quality, the plate thickness, you know, they're all sort of things you've got to take into consideration when we're doing these sort of things. So it is loaded up correctly. The way that some of the beams join onto the top hoop, the way that the angles have been done is just not something that, you know, like I said, that we'd sort of feel comfortable you going out in the car. And
so the cage got to come out, so that's just a waste of time. Get that out. Ideally, we probably want to stay going forward drive because of, you know, the fact he's ripped the tunnel out already. We wouldn't want to have to patch it up, would we?
We'd almost have to do as much work just to put a normal tunnel back in. We can certainly carry on from where it is, clean it up, tidy it up, get a nice tunnel in there.
I really like the idea. Obviously, I was trying to be different anyway. Most people do the Quaif, they do dog boxes, the CRV box, but the DSG box, but you're now talking about DQ500. What was it, DQ250?
So the one you had was like the early generation of the DSG boxes. Potentially, what we're looking at is DQ500 from the 8V RS3. You know, we see guys out in the States, IROS Motorsport, etc., throwing a clutch in one of these gearboxes and running 1300 wheel horsepower. You know, to the point you can't even buy a gear set for those gearboxes. So yeah, obviously depending on the spec we decide to go for, what our end power goal is, that is one option that we are sort of potentially looking at.
It's definitely something that you could do?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, to know 110%, obviously, you know, we'd have to get gearboxes offered up, transfer boxes offered up, etc. But, you know, in terms of, you know, fabrication capabilities and all that sort of stuff, you know, we have quite a bit of experience with, you know, doing weird and wonderful things and trying to get things that shouldn't work to work, should be achievable. You know, so if you go down the route of the Civic ECU, we have got the ability to do the control over the gearbox. That was sort of one of the reasonings why, if we already had the Civecs, that, you know, if we've got the ability to do it, you know, why don't we do it?
Believe it or not, like, you see how I'm just sitting there casually chatting with Joel? This is how I was casually chatting with Cal. Literally, I swear to God. He was just like selling me dreams. I was like, what? Dual clutch transmission, whole deck system in a Civic. I'm like, yes. But nah, Joel, he's proper, as I say. Company's all registered, they're proper. So yeah, man, I'm excited. Joel is definitely the guy that we're gonna, send this Civic with. Do you want to see the Civic sent to the moon? Do you want to see 1,000 horsepower build? As I say, we were talking about billet block, billet head, fucking talking like a 30 grand engine, but maybe because of everything that's happened with this whole series, maybe we just absolutely go crazy on it. Comments right down below what you want to see us do with this Civic. Do you want us to send it to the moon? Or should we just maybe start another car? Do we just take everything out and slap it into an EK or something? Thank you so much. As I say, guys, Joel's gonna finish off the car. We're just finalizing what we're gonna do. And as I say, your comments below will influence what I do with the car as well, because it's a load of money I'm gonna have to spend. I'm already 20 in, I've lost 10. Final reminder where you're located for people that want work and stuff like that done.
So we're located just outside Buckingham. Jump on the website or drop us a message through Instagram. Drop us a message and let us know.
Cool. All right, Joel, wicked man. Take it easy, brother.
Yep.